Yep.
Closer to the athletic. JV, what do you think your guys showed you on the defensive end tonight, especially?
I thought the second half, I thought we did a great job. We've shown what we're capable of defensively. We know when we're at our best, we can create stops, we can force turnovers, we can create easy opportunities for ourselves because of that. But I think, in that fourth quarter, holding them to 17 points until that last three, like that's how you win basketball games against good teams, is you lock down defensively. And that helped our offense. When you're getting stops, you're playing in the flow and not against a set defense as much. And I thought we were able to score as well.
You guys have kind of rediscovered that defensive flow that had been kind of missing through that losing stretch.
Yeah, and again, like what I think is all of our stuff works together, right? Our offense helps our defense helps our offense. In that stretch, I know people want to talk about our defense, but our offense wasn't helping us. We were playing at a tempo that, just isn't good for us. So we need to be able to slow the game down, control the game, put people in the proper spots, have great floor balance, and make teams go against our half-court defense. If you have to go against our half-court defense, you're going to be in for a tough time. So our offense is just a bigger problem in that stretch as our defense was.
Is Jarrett playing a factor that, like having him back and just anchoring the defense the way and kind of allowing Evan to just operate the way that he can at the four? But I don't know, how important is it just to have?
Yeah, I made this point, before. Jarrett is a defensive player of the year caliber player. You take that away, obviously it's going to have an impact. But when he's on the floor, we're a different team. When our two big guys are on the floor together and they're working as a pair, they're hard to score on in that paint. Evan, is an all defensive team player himself. Like, we're extremely fortunate to have two guys, that can defend the way that they can defend. And again, when they're working together, you're hard pressed to find easy looks out there.
Jeff Shedal, News Herald. Could you talk about the spark Cedi gave you tonight and his 2 nights in a row, 20-point games?
Yeah, that's the energy that we're looking for from Cedi. We've talked about it beforehand. He has a spirit that our guys feel. And in this building in particular, when he gets rolling, the crowd, goes to another level. And, we keep talking about the team, and we'll be a good team when everybody keeps playing to their role, the best of their abilities. And, we've seen Cedi play his role to the best of his abilities these past couple games.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. The defense element, how much of it is the physicality that you guys have played with the last couple nights and just making it tough on Trey and DeJounte? Noticed that you guys were funneling them in and they were having a hard time just kind of dribbling the ball because you guys were just attacking that.
That's as the season goes on, we all adjust, right? Because even early in the game, we were getting some fouls because we were playing physical. What you can't do is be a hit or miss team, because then once you are physical, you look out of sorts and it doesn't look like who you are. If you maintain that physicality, right, that's just the league becomes accustomed to who you are, and your reputation allows you to continue to be a physical team, because, the NBA is a physical sport. It is a contact sport, as much as people would lead you to believe that it's not. And, if you don't dictate where teams are going, you don't stand a chance, right? Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, are two of the elite offensive players in our league. If you allow them to play in space and you're chasing them, you're in trouble. So you have to put a body on people. You have to be able to dictate where they're going.
I asked you about him in the last couple of games, but just Isaac to play through the fouls and to make it to the end of the game and to give you what he did against DeJounte and against Trae out in the perimeter. What did you think of that?
We're spoiled because he continues to do that, on a night in, night out basis when given the opportunity. He is one of the best in the league at playing position defense. He's one of the best in the league at being able to get through screens cleanly. I think the contact comes a little bit from, how the big guys end up setting the screens and those types of things. But when it comes to just being able to slide through a screen and get home, there's not many guys in this league who can do it better.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
What's up, Chris?
What was it that you guys did so well against DeJounte tonight?
I mean, give Lamar a ton of credit. I think going into it with the game plan of trying to put as much size on him as you possibly can, troubled him a little bit. Lamar, has a really good ability to guard isolations, right? Keep guys in front of him, use his chest and defend without fouling and not give guys angles. So when you've got a bigger body on him to start, they're playing pick and roll, and now you got 2 7-footers in the paint. It makes it extremely difficult to score.
Have you gotten out of Lamar what you were hoping to get out of him when you made the move to him in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it was the defensive mentality. It was putting more, size around those two guys. It's always that balance of the pairings, and we've talked about that, the groups, right? Like trying to get Vert in a position of comfort. But this is what we expect of Lamar. It is that grit and that toughness that he brings.
And then in the play-in tournament last year against Atlanta, they sent a lot of blitzes at Darius, and other teams have done that to start this year. But it seems like he's handling that better, and you guys as a team are handling that better. Why?
We have a better understanding of it, and he does. There's a high level of trust in our big guys and their ability to make plays. Darius understands if they put 2 on you, that means we have an advantage. And so he gives the ball up. The same thing with Donovan. When they start trapping him, we get off the ball, we're playing advantage basketball. And then it also helps that you have the other one of them out there who they're not trapping. Like now the ball gets thrown to them. They've got a broken floor, and they're going to make you pay. So, it's a combination of the trust in one another, but also having the support of each other out there as well.
Last one, Evan Damar, right there. JB, compared to the game against Charlotte, this wasn't a night where Evan stuffed the box or started stat sheet as much. Can you just touch on how impactful he still was, regardless of that, on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, this is something that we should all just watch and pay attention to. And it's a conversation that we have with Evan all the time. Is Evan has the opportunity to be the most impactful player on the floor every night, no matter what his numbers are or what they say. There's the intangibles. And there's just the overall impact of his presence of making the right plays at the right time. His two-way ability to protect the paint. Most of the time when guys see him in there, they don't even go in there. There's not a stat for that, right? When he catches the ball and he makes the hockey assist, they don't track that, in our box scores. His presence in the paint when he's rolling, people have to go to him. It creates an open opportunity for somebody else. They don't track that. They don't put that in the stat sheet. So, Evan's main thing, and I've been impressed by it, is the only thing he cares about is helping us win and doing what it takes to win. He could have came here as a rookie when our team was kind of a question mark, right? And he could have just hunted shots and tried to get his stats. But he never did. The only thing he did was go out every single night and try to help us win. And that's what he continues to do.
For a while that you guys haven't played quite a complete game yet. Do you think you're getting closer to that point by now?
I think we're sniffing it. 33 points in the second quarter. That's not good enough. But the resiliency and trying to just the will to just figure it out. I think we did that, for the majority of the night. And the most important thing is the last 5 minutes, right? I think there was a big step forward there. Hope it breeds that confidence and an understanding of how to do it. We're going to be tested again. We've got to continue to pass those tests. Thank you.
Thank you, JB.
Good night.
Thanks, JB.
Evan Damrow right down the Darius, on nights like tonight, how can you just quantify the impact Evan has on both ends of the floor when he's not really stuffing the stat sheet?
Switch 1 through 5, defending Trey on switches, rebounding the ball, playing tough against John Collins, Clint Capella. He's going against his former teammate in O. He's just a competitor. He always battling. It doesn't matter how his night is going. He's a stat sheet stuffer, but sometimes you don't stuff the stat sheet. So you just got to play hard. You got to find a way to impact the game in some other ways.
How's your eye doing after you were hit in the face in the first quarter?
I'm getting tired getting hit in my face. It's all right. I'm not blind. I get hit in my eye almost every game now, so I'm used to it at this point.
And just one more on Evan. Have you ever played with a big man like him? It's just that's so unique and multifaceted like that.
Never. And it's crazy because he's 21. Like, he hasn't really just got all his tools together. Sometimes it still look like he's trying to get used to his 7-foot size out there. And he's literally a unicorn. Like, there's not a lot of people like him on this planet. And it's cool to just have him as a teammate for sure.
Joe.
DG, what do you think of Cedi's performance tonight? And for him to kind of have his playing time fluctuate recently and to come back out here in back-to-back nights and have 20-point games, what have you seen from him over the last couple of weeks as he's gone through that?
Confidence just growing. He's getting that time, and he's just taking it to his advantage, really. He's making the most out of his minutes. He's super efficient on the floor. He's competing on both ends of the floor, so something that we need as a spark plug. So, we're happy just that he's in a good space right now, and we just need him to stay there and just bring that energy every night for us.
A lot of people talk about the energy that he brings. Is that like infectious for you guys when he steps on the floor?
Yeah,
Can I get a jolt?
for sure. Him and Ice. I mean, really our entire bitch from Cedi, Isaac, K-Love, Rolo. I mean, Mar, even though he's coming to that starting role. I mean, they always just bring like a huge impact in that spark plug for us that we really need. And you can even tell in the arena, like when they make a shot or do something good, like the arena just explodes. So like that's the same thing with us as their teammates. Like when they do something good or make a defensive stop or something, like you feel that energy, and that's when we start getting rolling. So we really need that from them for sure.
Anything else?
Oh, that's lovely.
You got one?
I do. Hi. Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. So last year in the play-in tournament, Atlanta threw a lot of blitzes at you, and other teams have done that throughout the course of this year as well. But it seems like you and the team as a whole are handling those things better. Why is that?
We're used to them. We've seen them a couple of times this year. We've seen it a lot last year. So we're just starting to get accustomed to the hots and where everybody's going to be at, and just trying to make the right play out of it.
You might have been asked this, so if you were, just walk off. That's fine. What has Lamar added to the starting lineup? Like, what makes him such a good fit with the other four of you?
Just bring that dog mentality. Bring that physicality, as you've seen tonight. Bring that defensive mind that we really need. And, I mean, he's going to play hard for 48 minutes, so that's what we needed with our group.
Spence.
Sorry. What you like about how you guys closed tonight, especially just that down the stretch, 5 minutes, and I feel like you guys really imposed your physicality.
Yeah, just try to get stops, really. That was our main focus in taking care of the ball. I mean, we really made them just take a couple bad shots, I believe. And I think that's what really got the ball rolling. And then just taking care of the ball offensively. I knew they was going to start blitzing, so I was just trying to hit J.A. or Evan in the pocket early, and they just make the play from there. And that's what it was down the stretch.
Kelsey.
Kelsey Roos of The Athletic. Darius, I also apologize if you've been asked this, so you can ignore it. But do you think you guys have rediscovered that defensive identity, especially over these last couple of games?
Yeah, I think we're trying to get there. I don't think we're fully there yet, but we're making strides to where we were at early on in the season. Just try to play more physical and try to limit some of like their guys' touches as much as we can, just to keep them away from the ball and just make other people beat us, really.
What has stood out on the defensive end, though, especially like tonight and last night? There are things that have been points of emphasis for you guys to like focus on and kind of take forward.
Just paying attention to detail. We just got to start talking a little bit more. Start holding each other accountable on defensive assignments, and I mean that's really been our two pinpoints for like this last week. So just trying to communicate and just pay attention to details and really just lock in on the assignment. I mean, when we go through film and stuff, we just all have to be locked in and just make sure everybody knows where they need to be and all the different coverages.
All right, it's gonna be a GG.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
guarding, he's running the floor, he's making an extra effort. He's holding us accountable. He came to the huddle and said I was getting my ass bust when they scored on me twice. And I don't think anybody scored on me after that. You know what I mean? But you need a guy like that, and I respect that and I appreciate that, because, and it wasn't just me, he's told others, but when you have a guy that's vocal about that, and not afraid to speak to everybody on the team the same way, it kind of lifts you up and gives your energy up. And I think that's what, he brings a voice, that's definitely needed, an attitude of positivity, accountability as well. So it's not always just coming from JB, and I think on the defensive end, he held an all-star guard in DeJounte Murray to 4 of 18. He did a great job on the ball and made the night tough on him, and he's done that on several occasions. And you're seeing him play well in his minutes and his spots, and I keep telling him to shoot the ball. He shot fakes lies, keeps him to shoot it and trust it. And that's going to come with time. When you get out there, you want to make the right play all the time, but sometimes the right play is letting it fly. And him and Isaac Okoro are always the first ones in the gym every day. Shooting the 3-ball, getting extra work in. So it's great to see them too, especially, but for Mark to join our starting lineup and to excel, and have success. It's great to see.
Was he the one that was busting your ass in the huddle?
No. He was saying I was getting my ass bust by it was Griffin and Murray. They hit 2 shots on me. It was like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna guard, or you're gonna let them bust your ass? And and that, I think, honestly, I responded to that pretty well, and I appreciate that because, that's something I haven't heard since Rick Pitino started screaming at me. So I appreciate that when it's coming for your teammate, and that's what ultimately you're going to need when you want to get to the playoffs, get to the finals, get to that. You're going to need those moments where we lock in, and he's doing it down the line. And honestly, he's one of the best voices on this team in that regard for sure.
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. Donovan, do you feel like you guys have started to rediscover that defensive identity of these last couple games? And if so, how?
Yeah, I think just kind of going back to our fundamentals. It's keeping our man in front, making the extra effort. When you lose 5 in a row, whatever it was, it's not, it doesn't feel great. And, we started the year off and everything felt easy, felt smooth. And that's not going to be all 82 games. There's going to be moments where things start to go differently and then how to respond. I think tonight we showed, or the past 3 nights, we've showed grit and we've showed determination and getting back to ourselves. And the biggest thing for us is just finding a way to continuously keep that for a full 48. And I think this was our first time playing a full 48, of solid defense and everything else, offensively, that's the easy part. I feel like, for us, is continuing to bring it on the defensive end and communicate, be there for each other, even through mistakes. And I think that was something you're starting to see, and we're continuing to get back to it. We can't lose it, and that's the biggest thing.
How helpful, though, is it having Jared back in there to anchor the defense? Obviously, I know you have other pieces to help, but when he's back in there, just how does that change you guys defensively?
Yeah, when, you got guards who are dynamic like Trey, DeJounte getting downhill, all you got to do as a guard is kind of just stay in space and kind of funnel them down there and to both Ev and Jay. But when, you noticed that when Jay was out, things weren't too great. And, it's tough just to be down there when it's Ev and say a Lamar. Lamar is not, we're not 7 feet, so being able to have 2 of those guys down there in the foundations of our defense, being able to have those 2 down there, but definitely with Jay back, blocking shots, deterring shots, and even forcing guys to travel because they don't want to go up there for a shot. I think that's something that, you don't notice it on the stat sheet, but you see it when you're watching the game, and they bring it every night.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. How much of the element on defense is the physicality you guys have played with the last couple of games?
I think that's first and foremost. I think, not reacting, but being kind of dictating on the defensive end, where guys are going, blowing up screens. Isaac Okoro is probably the first person that comes to mind. It's because, he had 4 fouls in 3 minutes, whatever, but he was continuously making it tough. That's what we want, and understanding that, some of them, we believe are offensive fouls and they didn't call it, but continuously playing through it. Again, that comes to mind for me is when we played Boston in the first quarter, we were being ultra aggressive and they started calling those fouls. Then the second quarter, we kind of got timid, and laid back. And then next thing we're down 15. And the rest of the game, third, fourth, and overtime, we started to really pick up our intensity on the defensive end. We come back and win. So that's what we have to be. That's what we have to do. And, from my time playing against the Cavs, you always understand that, we're always going to be aggressive. We're always going to be finding ways to try to dictate on the defensive end. And that's what we're starting to see over and over again. And we got to bring that every night.
And I got to ask you, just when Cedi has an open floor, do you guys notice the crowd?
I don't even run back on offense. Yeah. That's why when I got the steal, I just threw it up there and just let him go get it. Even when he got the foul on John Collins, like you just throw it out there, you just know, like, you know, he's going to go out there and finish. He's also playing phenomenally on both ends of the floor, doing a lot, especially when you go from DMP to playing a few minutes to not playing to playing, like to be able to come out and give us this spark with Karras out as well. Like he's been phenomenal, but especially on the open floor, man, like it's like he's about to go up and do a 360 dunk, you know, when everybody goes crazy. But, you know, I as soon as I give him the ball, I just go ahead and stand there and don't even waste my energy because I know he's going to make it and either get fouled or I don't want to jinx this. I'm not going to say, but he's very successful when he gets fast break layups.
All right. Somebody?
Thanks, Donovan.
Thanks.
We're done. Thanks, guys.